Yep. Hey, it's Aaron from GameEnthus.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing Yooka-Laylee. This is the PC version. You have to forgive me if you see some colors that look a little off in some of the sections. It's not the game. Some of the capturing software I had just was a little funky, so you might see some greens that are black. It didn't look like that when I was playing it. You can see some of the grass, but not a big deal. Let's get back into the rich story of Yooka-Laylee. No spoilers, the very beginning of the game, so. So Yooka-Laylee was kickstarted some years ago by people who work for Rare, by people who were involved with Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. And they basically put a Kickstarter out there that said, hey, why don't we make a game that is like those old games, but it's a new game? And people responded very positively to that. And yeah, the dialogue is squeaks and grunts and quacking, and the antagonist is a bee with a cane and a duck who keeps himself, I guess, hydrated by living in what looks like a gumball machine. It doesn't. So you have capital B and Dr. Quack. It's goofy. It's on the nose goofy. It's they knew what they were doing pretty much. So if you've been paying attention to the grunts and squeaks or reading the words, the plot revolves around them stealing all the books. And yeah, they're stealing books. That's their nefarious thing. So enter our heroes, the lizard Yooka, the bat Laylee. They're relaxing. All of a sudden, one of their books begins to float. The book of Yooka's prophets. I'm sorry, Laylee's prophets. And pages are falling out of it, and they're being scattered everywhere. What is a lizard or a bat to do? Sorry for some of the framiness too. Again, the software I was using, playing the game, I really didn't have any really big performance issues. I mean, framey every now and then, but what was captured sometimes was not quite indicative of what the actual game was like. Now that old Rare sense of humor is still there, as you can see from Batship Crazy, and a snake named Trousers. The joke kind of writes itself. Trousers is the character that you go to acquire new moves. There's no more bottles. Bottles is gone. There's no bottles, as far as I know. So you acquire new moves from Trousers in order to gain new heights and do new things. Ivory Tower access the hub world, and that's how you access all the other larger levels. Yeah, and Trousers is a really old cell phone. I don't know that I wouldn't recommend using that kind of cell phone in any year, but yeah. So pages, little golden pages, are pages from your book, and those are the jiggies of this game. So you want to get pages in order to unlock new areas. So the tomes are the big books that you can go into. So, but you have to spend your pages to access them. So the books open up, you go inside. You also eat butterflies to replenish your health, and that green meter at the bottom underneath their faces in the upper left is a meter that, like the move you see me doing right there, that requires that uses some of your power meter, which will replenish. Well, actually, I'm sorry, it will not replenish. It will replenish itself after a little while, but you can eat more butterflies in order to get back some of it faster. So you want to go around and collect all the pages, and the quills that you saw. Those are sort of the currency that you use to buy new moves from Trousers. So there's just a slew of just activities and things to do in each world. They're quite large. And once you have some quills saved up, you can buy some new moves from Trousers. And if you find coins, you can also go to Rextro and play some of his arcade games in order to earn even more. Rextro is an interesting character. I honestly wasn't that wild about the arcade game. I mean, they're there. They can be played. That was not really my main focus. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go and squeeze out a couple of pages from some of the arcade games by getting high scores and things like that. There's also Vendy, the vending machine, and you can, by accomplishing certain tasks, killing a certain number of enemies, doing certain moves a certain number of times in a row, collecting pages as well, you can unlock tonics, which can be activated one at a time. Which are pretty cool. It's also transformations. There's just a lot in this game. There's it you know, when the Kickstarter came out, they made it very clear what type of game they were making, and that's exactly the game that they made. And I know everybody's favorite part of Banjo-Kazooie was the trivia game at the end of it. That's here too. As well as some minecart levels as well. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes, I mean, they really did kind of double down on a lot of the, yeah. Just hearing those little over and over again can be a little bit nutty. Each world also has a boss battle, which is pretty varied. And even when you spent an hour, 2 hours, whatever, in a level, if you get enough pages, you can expand the level and it becomes even larger. So that it unlocks even more things to do. Which means more pages. Why don't you just gather your friends and then just find me and then okay, well. You'll see some familiar faces. And it gives you a nice little tour of what some of the new areas are that you've unlocked, which helps. So you have a goal in mind. Yeah, like I said, it expands quite a bit. So I showed you a lot of the initial level. I don't want to show too much of the game. Like I said, the worlds are very, very large, a lot to do, a lot of pages, a lot of quills, a lot of challenges. Just, I keep saying a lot. And, you know, a complaint that I have heard is that it gets repetitive because you are kind of doing similar tasks in each world. I didn't find that to be the case, honestly. Yes, you will see the skeleton guy in every world. You will see Trousers. You will see Vendy. Well, you have to see Trousers getting new moves, but there'll be new items that you can eat and lick to give you new abilities. Not necessarily new in every level, but the game certainly does give you different things to do. There's similarities between them, but I feel like the challenges were varied enough that it kept me interested. It wasn't an issue for me. In fact, one complaint that somebody might have, I had it from time to time. Overall, it didn't really bother me, but issue is the levels maybe can be a bit intimidating. Perhaps that's why they decided to have it be huge up front, and then once you unlock more, you can get completely insane with just the number of just areas and things. I mean, there's all types of things that this stuff I haven't even mentioned. I haven't mentioned the ghosts yet. I mean, there's ghost riders, 5 ghost riders in every level. There's, you know, the collectathon thing is certainly there, but I don't know. There wasn't that 200 of these equals one of these kind of thing. It's just you collect quills for moves. Pages are essentially your jiggies. It's all kind of laid out right there. Yes, there's 5 ghost riders in every world that you can find. Like I said, you're constantly licking and eating things. No, they have different effects: ice effects, fire, glowing, taking on the properties of a dense and heavy metal. There's all types of things you can do. If you like Banjo-Kazooie, if you are a fan from back in the day or a new one, I think you will have a ton of fun with Yooka-Laylee. I did. I didn't enjoy the mini games and arcade stuff quite as much. To me, that was just sort of, I'm glad it was there, but it wasn't like really my highlight. I did feel bad for the butterflies. I hope that maybe one day they get their revenge. At any rate, yeah, that is Yooka-Laylee. There's just a breadth of things to do in it. Like I said, if you enjoy the 3D platformers of 20 years ago, I think you'll find a lot to like. If you did not like those games, I don't think that Yooka-Laylee is going to convince you otherwise. One thing I would like to have seen is just the game communicate to you better whether or not you have the ability to accomplish certain tasks. There were certain things I was trying to do, not realizing that there was really no way I could ever actually do it. That kind of thing I would have liked to have seen be communicated a little bit better. Yes, there are tropes and things that are not modern that the game just like the squeaks and stuff, like it just doubles down on. It's like, hey, you wanted a googly eye game. The game literally has sections where there's just googly eyes that jump on random inanimate objects and animate them and they attack you. It's like they literally took everything about those old things. Oh, I can't have the googly eyes. I hate them. I love them. Whatever. They took them and said, here's a ton of googly eyes. The squeaking and the grunts, here's a ton of it. And they really released exactly what they said they were going to. And ultimately, I enjoyed it. I don't think it's perfect. I think maybe I would have liked, maybe instead of 5 huge worlds, 5 plus, maybe 10 slightly smaller ones. But like I said, it doesn't matter. I just had a good time just pouring hours and hours into Yooka-Laylee. It definitely it checked those boxes for me, and I'm really glad to see a game like it come back. It's unapologetically goofy, and it knows exactly what it's supposed to be, and they delivered on exactly what they said they would. So I don't know how many Kickstarters can say that, for better or for worse. I think this one is for better. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Yeah, that's Yooka-Laylee. Feel free to like, subscribe, share the video if you think anybody wants to hear me drone on and on about Yooka-Laylee for way too many minutes. I guess that's it.